guys, and welcome back to the course. So in this course, this time we will be creating this new app which we will call Bluetooth app. So we all are aware of this app, like we know we use Bluetooth devices to pair two devices or connect two devices so that we can share some small files from one device to another. Okay, also we can also connect this to the Bluetooth headphones or to listen songs or something like that. So we will be creating this Bluetooth app this time, and our app will something look like this. We will be having a search button here, and when we click on search button, then we should get the nearby Bluetooth devices shown in the list here. Okay, so let us just start by creating a new project. So we will be creating a new project with the empty activity, and we will name this as Bluetooth app. Okay, so let us just click on finish button to get all the things set up. So initially we want three things, like we want a button. I'll close this project. So initially we want three things, like we want a button to be set up at the bottom, and a text view and a list view. Okay, so we'll just start by deleting this. So we want in the starting we want a button at the bottom. Okay, so I will just place the button at the bottom. So I will quickly set its constraint to be center, and I will set its down constraint. Also, I want the text here to be shown as search, so that a user can click on this and search for the nearby Bluetooth devices. Also, we want change its ID, so I will give something like search button. Okay, also we have to set the OnClick method for our button. So here I will just name it as search. Okay, so now we have to input text view also, like whenever we click on search button, then it should show something in the text view like searching or this, so that we will user will be aware, like it is searching the app, that the app is working. Okay, so initially we don't want any text to be shown in this. Also we want its ID as we will keep it the same, and we will quickly set its constraint. I think we should first make it center so that it is constrained to the our button. Okay, we can also give our constraints to here. So we can give it horizontally in parent, and then we will set its down constraint so that it is constrained to this. Okay, I think it is not constrained to the search button, so we want it to be constrained to the search button. So also we have another option, like we can see its alignment, like we can see where it should be aligned. So we have an option like align above or something like that. So we can also align in that way also. We have to search a long way, I think. So initially I will set its constraint here. We will see that afterwards. So I will just give it this. Okay, so we want now a list view above that. So I will just implement a list view here. This is just drag it and drop. Okay, so I want it a bit small because our text view is also downwards here. You can see it is here. So we will give the list view we will give that an ID. We'll call it as list view. Now we will set its constraints. We don't have to do that. We just have to set its side constraints. Okay, so now I think it is all set. Also we want, okay, this is okay. This is showing error because we haven't created any method, like this will be showing the same also, like this is responding to the class. Okay, we have to create a class for the OnClick button. so that so also I want to tell that whenever we click on search button, the text view should show something like searching, and the search button should get disabled so that user cannot enter, user cannot turn it on again, as because our app will took some time to search for the nearby Bluetooth devices, so we want that search button to be disabled. Okay, so before writing our code, we have to initialize everything. So we have used three things, so I will quickly initialize them as button, search button. Also we have our text view, and we have a list view. Okay, so we will give this the name list view, and now inside of that we will give that, we will declare that here. So for the search button, we will write search button is equal to find view by id or dot id dot search button. Okay, so now next thing, for the text, we will be doing the same for text view is equal to find view by id r dot id dot our text view. Okay, so now we are just left with list view, so we will do that in the same manner. Okay, so I think we are done with this. Now we have to create an onClick method. Like for the onClick, we have to create a new class. We create public, we have to be void, we have don't have to return anything, so we'll use void. We have given the name in our onClick search. We can see that here, we can see that onClick we have given search. Okay, so inside of that we have to pass the view, so we will pass our view, and now it is okay. I think now the error should be removed. We can see the error is now removed. Okay, so we have to write the code inside. So first thing, whenever we click on search button, then the text view should show, like we will set the text view dot set text, and inside of that it should show something like searching and then three dots. I think this will be okay. So and now we also want this search button to get disabled. Okay, so we will use the method called search button dot set enabled, and inside of that we have to pass a boolean value. We can see we have to pass a boolean value inside, so I will just write false, as because we want it to be disabled. Okay, so I think this will be fine. As we click on this, it should get disabled. Okay, let's just give it a run. I think there was some issue. I will rebuild that. So I will again run the app. Let's just test it. So here comes our app. Let's just click on search button, so we can see that the searching is shown here, and but we will not see anything here as because we haven't set any code for our list view. Okay, so this is working fine. So we will write now we will write some code to show to connect basically our list view to the nearby devices. Okay, so before that we need to learn something about Bluetooth adapter. So you can visit this, or you can search this Bluetooth adapter something. Okay, so we will just give quick read here. So Bluetooth adapter, this represents the local device, like it lets you perform fundamental Bluetooth tasks such as initiate. So this contains many methods, like it will initiate this device discovery, like we can discover the nearby devices, and it will return a query of list of paid devices, like it will return the nearby devices. And yeah, so basic function that it uses a MAC address, okay, also. And create a Bluetooth service socket to listen for connection requests from other devices and scan for Bluetooth LE devices. So this is the basic functionality of our Bluetooth adapter. Also, to get a Bluetooth adapter, we use this command. So we will be seeing this in our code. So I'll just want to give you a review, like something what is Bluetooth adapter and what are its methods. So these are its method which are highlighted. So we will use some of them, and we will see that how to connect this to our code. Okay, like we have to add some permissions in our manifest file here. So we have to do every time we need to add something, like whenever our app uses something externally, like if we our app needs to download something from internet, so also we need to implement that permission from grant we have to grant that permission from the internet. Okay, so we have to use this permission, and inside of that we have to pass the permission which we need. So we want two permissions here. The first one is the first one. This is our Bluetooth normal Bluetooth permission. We will see that. We need to close that with the closing tag. Okay, and the other one is our Bluetooth admin permission. So these two permissions we require for our Bluetooth app. Okay, so we'll just close that. Okay, this is fine now. So now we will begin with our coding part. Okay, so in this now we will have to implement the Bluetooth adapter. Okay, so I will just initialize a Bluetooth adapter here, Bluetooth adapter, and I will name it the default one. Okay, so now we can use that anywhere. So as we did for these, like we did for search button, like r.id.this for declaring. So now we also need to declare that, but we have different method to declare that. So we will see Bluetooth adapter, this should be equal to Bluetooth adapter dot get default adapter. So this will declare that and will get you the default adapter in this variable. Okay, so now we are done with this. So now we have to write some code. You don't have to focus on this, just remember that to create for creating intent we need to do this, like we need intent filter here. As we have seen in the Bluetooth adapter, these are the methods of Bluetooth adapter. Okay, so we will be using intent filter. So firstly we need to create its object, intent filter, and now we can use this, like we will be using this intent filter, and in this we have few methods, like we can add action, and inside of that we can change the state, like Bluetooth adapter dot set, I guess we used the same. Okay, this was the method Bluetooth adapter dot action changed, I guess it should be the method action state change we need to find. Yes, this one. Okay, so we need to use the same methods quite a few times. So I will just copy it and paste it here. So this time we need to find the action found, so that our Bluetooth will find that automatically. I think we need to write that again. Okay, that was for Bluetooth device, I guess. Bluetooth device dot action found. Yes, this one. Okay, so now again we need to use again for our Bluetooth adapter. So I will be using Bluetooth adapter dot action. So now we want to discover that. So firstly we need to start that discovery, and then we need to find that. I'll just copy it and paste it right here. And as we have started this discovery, so now we need to use finished. Okay, so this will these are the codes to find the nearby Bluetooth devices, like to get the intent. Okay, so now we need to receive all these intents with the help of our Bluetooth adapter. So we need to use a register receiver here. We have this is this one, and inside of that we need to pass two things. The first one is our broadcast receiver, and the second one is intent. So the intent we have created right now only, but we haven't created any broadcast receiver. So we have to see, we have to implement that. So we need to study a little bit about that. So I will just write here firstly intent filter. So we are just left with our Bluetooth broadcast receiver. So we'll study a bit about that here. So what is broadcast receiver? We can see that. So it is basically a base class for code that receives and handles broadcast intents sent by this. So this is basically a class that receives and handle broadcast. Broadcast is something we receive, like for the intent. So whatever intent will receive, it will show with the help of broadcast receiver. Okay, so there are many methods. As this is scroll down, 1 second, I guess this has changed. So this was our broadcast receiver. So we can see that in our broadcast receiver we have a lot of methods, and these are all final void. Like we can see most of them are final void, and we can see we can use all these methods. So these are all their functions. So we will be using different methods, like we will be using on receive method here. We can see we have context and intent we have created, so we will be using that. So you don't have to worry much about that, we will see that later on. So I just want to give you an idea of what this do. Okay, so let's just start creating our broadcast by creating our broadcast receiver. So for creating broadcast receiver, we will use private final method here. As we have seen, we have to create private final methods for that. So we will use private final, and now we will be using our broadcast receiver. And to name that, I will use the default one, and I will create the object here only, new broadcast receiver. Okay, so this will implement these methods by itself. So as I said that we will be using on receive method, which will be using which will be taking the argument context and intent. Okay, so for that we have to implement action, so that is in string. So action we will be using afterwards, I will show you. So we have to just receive the action by using intent. Okay, so we will be receiving this, and now we can use this broadcast receiver anywhere. So firstly I will remove this error by writing here our broadcast receiver. Okay, so now we can see the error will be removed. Okay, we have to use semicolon here. So these are the default methods, like we have to use them, so we don't have to know much about them. So now we are done with this code. So now we just have to change, like whenever we, as we have seen in our app, that whenever we click on this search button, text view should show searching, and the search button should get disabled. Okay, so after when the finishing is done, so we want this text these things to be reversed, like we want text view to be show like something like finished, and our search button should get enabled again. Okay, so we will be using this here. So we can use that by using an if condition here. So we will be using if Bluetooth adapter, so we'll be using if Bluetooth adapter dot action discovery finished. So after finishing all these types, if it is equal to, like dot equals, we know that we use that for two strings, comparing two strings. So we have our string action string here, so that's why we have implemented that in the string. So if this is equal, So it means that we have found our Bluetooth devices nearby, all the nearby Bluetooth devices. So now we need to finish the searching. So we will be using these conditions by reversing them. Like I want these to show finished. I want this searching text to be changed to finished, and we want the search button to get enabled again. Okay, so these are the codes I wanted to be implemented. So now let's just give it a run to check whether. So by writing this code, now we will not be seeing the nearby Bluetooth devices, as because we haven't received anything. We have just created that for finding. So but we will be able to see, like whenever it gets finished, we will be able to see that. And also we haven't written any code here. Sorry, I just missed a code of a line of code here. So we need our Bluetooth adapter to start the discovery. Whenever we click on search button, then it should start searching for the nearby Bluetooth devices. Okay, so we will be using Bluetooth adapter, and we have a method called start discovery. We have this variable. Okay, so Bluetooth adapter dot start discovery. Okay, so this should be implemented whenever we click on our search button. Okay, so these are the three things which should happen when we click on search button. That text we should show searching, search button should get disabled, and we Bluetooth adapter should start looking for the nearby Bluetooth devices. Okay, so let's just run it again. So now we will be able to see, we will not be able to see the Bluetooth devices, but we'll be able to see the, this will show finished, and this button should get enabled again after searching. Okay, let's just wait. I think it is taking a bit time, so we will pause this and run again. So I found out what was wrong with that. So I haven't enabled developer options in my device. Also, we cannot run this Bluetooth app on our virtual device, as due to some credibility. So we will have to run it on our own device. Like we can, I have also told that we can connect any other device. Like we can connect our own smartphone to this to run this. Okay, so in order to do that, we just have to connect USB cable to our phone, and then we just have to enable the USB debugging option. Like I will just show you how to connect that. Just give me a second. So I have this Visor app installed in my phone. So this is just for screening my phone. Like I will show you how. So you can see my device screen here. So now I will be using settings option. So I will show you things which you have to enable. So first of all, you have to go towards our phone, and then you will have to check, either you will find the build version or MIUI version. Okay, so I will just click on. So it is showing no need, you are already a developer, as because I have did this before. So what you have to do, you have to click I guess 5 or 6 times on this version, like this. You just have to tap on this, and you will see you will become a developer. Like here you will message you are now a developer. Okay, so afterwards you have to go to the developer options. You have to find that, that will be in the additional settings, I guess, or you can find it somewhere. Just search that. Yes, this is developer options. Just go to developer options and use USB debugging. Like I have enabled that, so you have to just enable that. So we'll get a warning to get accept. Okay, so as the visor was also connected through this, so it will reconnect again. So you can see that we are now connected to this USB to our Android device, and also you have to allow this installed via USB so that you can install the apps that you are creating. Okay, so now we are done. Let's just give it a run and we will see that on our Android app. So we can see that it is still running. So afterwards, now also we will not be able to find any device, as I have told before, as because we haven't written any code for receiving of the addresses, name and the other things that should show, like as we normally see that Bluetooth device comes with their names, address and other things. So we have to implement that. Okay, so let's just wait. It will I have shown this only so that you can run your apps on the uh, our your Android device. Okay, so like this we can see the app is here on our this, so we can click on search option. Oh, I am clicking through here. I have to click on my Android device, so I can see this the text view which was here was showing searching, and if we have written the code, then we will be seeing the Bluetooth devices here. Okay, so as we have not written anything yet, so we'll not be seeing anything now. So now what I will just remove it. So now we will begin with our further coding part. Okay, so now we can also set the if else if condition here, as we have only said that if the device is found, then all the devices are found, that discovery finished, like whenever that Bluetooth adapter is stopped, like all the devices nearby it has shown and found, and is its discovery is just finished. So what should it do? And the text view should show finished and the search button should get enabled again. So we can also set the case else here. Else if what if this is not the case, like it is still searching for the nearby devices, so we have to write the code for that. And for that also we have to study something about Bluetooth device. So we will study that here. So we will see Bluetooth device. So what is this? It represents a remote Bluetooth device. A Bluetooth device lets you create a connection with the respective device or query information about it, such as the name, address, class, and the bonding state. As I said before, we have to connect the devices, like for connecting we have to require these things. We require these things: name, address, class and bonding states. And there is also Rssi pin, which states what is that. The more means we can say the less is the pin, like less is the number, so more is the connection. Like we can say if the RSSI pin is in negative, like we will say -90 or something, then it shows that the connection is more powerful. Like in other words, we can say the Bluetooth device nearby, like our Android device is closer to that Bluetooth device. Okay, so you will understand that further on. So let's just study a bit about this also. So this class is really just thin wrapper for Bluetooth hardware device. One of the objects are immutable. We don't have to know about this. So we can see that this also uses Bluetooth adapter. Okay, so operations on the class are performed on the remote Bluetooth hardware address using the Bluetooth adapter. So we will be requiring Bluetooth adapter in this, and also to get a Bluetooth device, sorry, we will be using Bluetooth adapter to get remote device string to create one representing the known of get a device of known MAC address. So we can see to get the MAC address, like to connect devices, we will be requiring an Android adapter, and we will be using its method. Like it have a lot of methods, like get remote device, get bonded device, and other methods also. So we will be using that in our coding part. So these are some methods here. We can see string, also there will be some few int methods for the addresses and other also. So we will just see that in our coding part. Okay, so for else condition, now we will be requiring, as we said, we will be requiring Bluetooth device here. Okay, so I will just use Bluetooth device here. Let's just wait here. So we will be using this Bluetooth device here, and in this we want that if the action is found, like if the nearby device is found, so what will be the case? Also in this we require, like we will be doing the same we have done above, that it is equal to the action that it is getting intent. Okay, so I have to use action here. Okay, so if this is the case, like we are getting the action, then we need to use some code, like we can use some part of code here. So firstly we will be using Bluetooth device. We have to create an object of that. So we will be using Bluetooth device, and inside of that we will pass the value which we get from intent. Okay, so we will just use intent, and inside of that we have to get something like this is the code we will be getting: parse lab parsable extra, get parsable extra, and inside of that we need to pass that device, like which the device we have found. So we'll be using Bluetooth device dot inside of that we have to pass extra device. I guess this is the one which we require. Yes, this is fine. Okay, so now we have implemented Bluetooth device in this. We just now have to use that string names and other things. So the device, this is the nearby device, like we can say this is the nearby device which we require. So we are having our nearby device, so we just want to get its address, name, and the other things here. Okay, so we will be using these here. So as the name is in string, so we will be using string name. We will create a variable name, and we will get the name from the device. Okay, so we have a method called get name, so we will just get that. Also we can see we are showing the other methods like get address and other things. So we will be doing the same, like we want address, so we will be using the same for address. So string address, they should be equal to device dot get. So now we can see that we have a lot of methods like get address, get alias, name, Bluetooth class, bound state, and other things. So here we want address, so we will be using address. So afterwards we will be using Rssi, like as I told before, the number. This is just the connectivity number, like as I said before, the lesser is the number, the more strong is the connection, or we can say in other words that the nearby device is more closer. Okay, so we will be using, we have to pass different things here. So we will be using in sorry, we don't have to do that first. So as we have converted that to string, so we have to convert that to string, as because we will be using intent. So I will write that first only, intent dot get short extra. I think I have to write that get short extra. We want this one. Okay, so inside of that we have to pass our Bluetooth device dot we have to pass our Bluetooth device dot extra RSSI. This one we want, this one. Also we have to pass the default value, like if it does not find any value, then we want any default value. So I will just pass the min value here. So we'll use short dot. So we'll be passing min value here as we want the connection to be closer if we don't found any value. Okay, so I think this looks fine. As now I have said before, this is showing error as because this is the int part, like intent.get short extra will return the int type. Okay, so we have to typecast into integer. We have to typecast into string, so we'll be using integer.toString, and we will be passing this all inside of our bracket. So I will just remove this bracket from here. I guess it's lagging a bit, so I will just put a bracket down here. So I think this looks fine now. This looks good now. So we are done with the implementation of Bluetooth device. So now we have implemented this Rssi here, which is signal strength basically. So if you want to know about this Rssi, I will tell you. Just we can see that here this is signal strength. So what is this Rssi, which I was telling you, that it is the phone signal strength related, like it contains the signal strength related information, and it is in the int, as I said that, and indicates the invalid measures of signal strength. So as I said, the lower is the value, then higher will be the signal strength, or higher will be the connectivity. Okay, so this is just a method. Like we can see, there are a lot of methods here. We don't have to use that inside our coding part here. Also we can see that its value is like, its unit is dBm. Like we can see that for the length we have units and something like that. So we have, for signal strength we have unit dBm. Okay, so we will be using that in our coding part. So now the last thing we need to, we are almost complete, we are almost end to complete this app. So last point is we need to show the devices in our list view. Like we can see, we have created this list view to show the nearby devices. So we will be using that in this part only. So to show that, we have to use ArrayList here, and also we will be using our array adapter. So first of all, we need to show, we need to add a new ArrayList. We will be using here ArrayList of strings, and we will name this as Bluetooth. I will name it as Bluetooth devices. Bluetooth devices is equal to new ArrayList. Okay, so we'll be using this. Also we want array adapter to be shown, and if you don't know about array adapter, I will tell you, just a minute. So I will initialize that. So if you don't know about array adapter, I will tell you here. So what is this array adapter? So you can use this adapter to provide views for adapter view, like anything you want to show in the list view or spinner. Like we can use that, anything you want to show in here, list view or something, we will be using this array adapter. Okay, so you can use this adapter to provide views for adapter view. It returns a view for each object in a collection of data objects that you provide, and can be used with list based user interface. So as I told, this is just this is just an adapter view. Like it will show you something. Like if we want to show in the list view, then this is the best we can use, and for this we want these few things. We will be using that in our code, and these are some methods which we can see. Array adapter, this will be using context here, and some methods which we will be using in our code. Okay, so let's just run it. So now we will be adding just few lines of code, then we will give it a run. So we will be saying we have added here the else if condition. Here also we want another things here, like we can see inside after that. So let's say if we don't have that name, like we can, the case is also possible that the name does not exist. Like Bluetooth device, it does not necessary that everyone name their Bluetooth device. Like we can say we don't generally don't name our Bluetooth devices. So but the address will be there, like address will be always there. So we have to just check on the name part whether it is there or not. So we will just check if name is equal to null, or we can say if name dot equals empty string, like if the name does not exist, like empty string, or it is equal to null. We have to remember that we have to take the both the cases. So in this case we have to add in our array list just the I will use this. Just remember, we don't have to use this one. We have to use this array list, which we have created variable above. Here you can see. So we have an add method. We can use this method, and inside of that we can pass the string. Like I want here to be passed to, like I will pass name. I guess I have to pass the address here, as we don't have the name, so we will be showing the address only. Like we can see we have the Bluetooth devices names showing address, like something hexadecimal address like 76 double colon then something like that AE and something. So we will be using that only. Okay, so we want here now address, so we will concatenate that with the our signal strength, which we call RSSI. So I will just use RSSI, and after that we will concatenate that with our RSSI. I will give the spaces here. Okay, so now I will just pass the RSSI value, RSSI, and now we will be concatenating it finally with the it's we can say it's we have seen that, I guess that was dBm. We have to use that unit here, dBm. Okay, so we will this is just the method, like how you want to show that in your list view. Okay, so I want the Bluetooth device to be shown as the first address, then it's RSSI. It will be string called RSSI, then it will be a dash, and then it will show its RSSI value, like signal strength. Mostly it is in negative as the devices are closer, so it will be showing that only, and this is the unit for our signal strength. Okay, so if this is not the case, then we want normally to be shown, like it should show the name only. So I will just copy this and paste it here. Just I don't want the name, I just don't want the address this time, I want the name. Okay, so I think this is all set. We just have to set the array adapter here to set these values. So before that, I think we have to set the now we have to set the array adapter, as I think I have not set here. I will set it downwards here in the onCreate method. I will use that array adapter. Just give me a second. So we can use that array adapter here. So I will use array adapter is equal to new array adapter, and inside of that, as I have told before, we have to firstly pass the context. So in this time we don't we have to pass the same context, so we will be using this keyword. So this keyword shows that the context belongs to here, this file only, main activity. Okay, so the other element argument which you have to pass is, we will be passing android dot r dot, we have to pass the layout. Okay, so I will just pass android dot r dot layout dot we will just pass the simple list item one, which is default one, and after that we have to just pass the our string, like Bluetooth devices. What we have to show is, we have to show the Bluetooth devices. I think I have named that. Here it is. I have named in capital only. Okay, so now it is done. We just have to set that with the list view, as we want to show that in our list view. So I will just set adapter, and inside of that I will pass my array adapter which I have created. Okay, so I think we are done with this. We have set array adapter, list view, and all the things. I think we are almost done with this. Just a thing left. I guess I haven't said that, that we have to notify, like as we did, whenever there is changes we need to notify that the data is changed. Okay, so we need to notify that to our array adapter. Okay, so I think we are done with this code. Let's just give it a run. I have to connect my Android device. Just give me a minute. So now it's connected. Let's just give it a run. Meanwhile, I will open the Visor app. So you can see this. The app is running. We'll just wait for a minute. So the app is here. We can click on search button. I think this should work. So this hasn't shown any Bluetooth device, as because there was no Bluetooth device. I thought there is some. I thought there is some error in our coding part, but the coding is all right. We don't. The code is all right. You can test it in your Android device. It will show the Bluetooth device. If not, you can uh, text that in the comment section. But I think the coding part is right. Just it was the case, it was the unlucky case that there was no Bluetooth device nearby. So you can test it yourself, and you can check it whether it is showing the Bluetooth device nearby or not. Okay, so the last thing this we want to add is, like whenever we click on the search button, then it will start looking for the nearby Bluetooth devices. Okay, so there can be a case like whenever there will be same name, like duplicates can be possible, or it is also possible like I have searched for some Bluetooth devices, so it is showing the list. Then again I waved my mobile, like I can change the position of my mobile. Then due to different RSSI, like which is signal strength, like which is distance, which basically shows the distance between the two connected devices. So if we change the distance, like we will RSSI value will get changed, and it will get shown again. So we can do this multiple times. So this can be an error, like we can get the same Bluetooth device multiple times in our list, array list. Okay, so in order to clear that, we need to create another array list here. I will show. We will create another array list here, and we will pass string variable here, and that we will name it addresses, so that we will store addresses in array list. And if it is duplicate address, as because address can't be duplicate, so if it is the case that it is duplicate, we will replace that only once. Okay, so we create new array list here. Now it is okay, so we can use that array list. And also when we click on search button, we will get the Bluetooth devices. So we can do that again, like some Bluetooth devices are shown, then a user can again tap on the search button. Okay, so the array list will every time will get new devices, so the array list will become like heavier, will get more and more values. So every time when we start the discovery, so before that we will clear the previous ones. Okay, so we did this every time, so we have to clear all the array lists. So we have two array lists here. First one is Bluetooth devices, so we will use clear method here, and also we have to do that for addresses. Okay, so we have cleared that. So now we are just left with this code, just to avoid the duplicacy of Bluetooth devices. So we will use this code here now. So what do we want, like we'll write this code afterwards. I will write it here. Okay, so we will set if condition here. So we can say if this is not the address, like this is not the I guess I have used the wrong name here. I have used addresses here. Let us check downwards. So we have used the addresses only. Okay, so if addresses dot contains, like we can set if addresses dot contains, we have to pass the object inside, so that will be the address. Okay, so if this is not the address, so we can add another address. We will see that here. So we will add the that address only once, so we will just add that address. Okay, so you can see that if this is not the address, then we will add the address once. Okay, so if this is not the case, then it will not get added, so this will prevent the duplicacy. Okay, so also we will make it in a single loop. So I will just use another variable here, which I will call device string. So I will be using this again. If name is I think we should copy the same code here. I will cut this code and I will paste it here, and I will assign this as device string. Okay, similarly I will do this here. Okay, so now it is showing error, as because we have to add the we have to add this again into our second array list. So I will just add Bluetooth devices dot add. We have to pass the string. We have created that string here only, so this is the string here. Okay, so this is again showing some error. I will just check why it is so. Just move this place here. We'll see. I guess we have not implemented the bracket here. Some brackets are missing, I guess. Let me just check. Brackets are okay, addresses are okay. So if name is equal to null, or name dot equals empty string, then it should show this. I think this is fine now. Okay, I guess this is the error. I have added this again here. As I have added this here only, so I don't need to add that again. So I will just remove this. As I created this for adding, so I have added it once only. Okay, so I think we are done with the code. Let us just test our app, if this works or not. Just give me a minute. We'll add the virtual device here. So I have connected the virtual device. Now let's just give it a run. So this is the app you can use for screen mirroring. So you can show the Android device in this. I will wait till the app runs, then I will show this. So the app is installed. Now I will show you this. So you can see this. I have clicked on search button. So I found that there is some error in my Android device. So you can run it on your device and please check it. The code is perfect, I guess. So you will not find any error in this. This is the complete code for the Bluetooth app. So you can test it on your Android device. This must work fine. If any doubt, you can write down in the comment section. Then I will add another video. Okay. So thank you for watching.